and then to get friendships and share tips and tricks and learn new tricks. Share jobs. People might be looking for jobs. People might be hiring. So I think building network, I think, is as important as showing stuff in Tableau. So it's very informal. I've got slides, but don't really care about the slides. I always like to open with acknowledgement to country, acknowledging the traditional owners on the land where we stand today, and pay our respect to the elders, past, present, and emerging. I'm just going to show you the agenda, and then we do a quick run. Not one table, but one room to introduce yourself. So today's agenda is, first of all, Maxime. I'll let you introduce yourself, Maxime, after, but Maxime is a senior lecturer at QQ. Amazing talk about immersive analytics. You're doing it in French as well, the talk, as well. I think that's the last surprise. So you guys are going to learn French. And Ksenia, I picked that title. I don't know if is that your title, or you go on the job, or are you still a master's student?
I'm still a master's student. Yeah, 1 year ahead. But I'm seeking some part-time job as well.
So you're going to showcase a few of the new Tableau features, including the Tableau extension. And if I've got time, I can also show you some special parameters, which are Tableau features that were released in 24.3. which I think are pretty cool as well. If you find this.
Okay. Yep. All right. That should still work. So, okay. Sorry for the little glitches. So yeah, tonight I'm going to talk about maybe not like a very traditional Tableau user group, not very Tableau focused, but there is some elements that I hope maybe we'll see in tools like Tableau coming soon. And yeah, so I'm just going to jump right into it. So what I do is I do research, and I kind of teach as well in that space in immersive analytics. Have you ever heard of that term at all? Okay, yeah. So it's kind of it's getting there. Companies now are getting more and more interested in this technology, which basically use VR and AR. Virtual and augmented reality to do data viz and visual analytics. Sounds a bit gimmicky, but I'm going to explain actually why it's really not gimmicky and why we need these tools to really explore data and communicate about data in sort of more immersive and efficient ways. Always love to show a Venn diagram. This is kind of like at the intersection of a few branches, data viz, human-computer interaction, but also research in extended reality and computer graphics as well. Why immersive analytics? There's like a lot of reasons, but these are kind of the ones I like to talk about. The main key thing that like research is really kind of like coming with like good results. It's like the space to display information is literally pretty much everywhere you can see, you can display information. This is major when everybody knows, especially when you work with like a lot of like high dimensional data and you know your visual memory is not that great, and then you erase your window or you minimize something and then you go and analyze another thing, or you can create like a mini cave of screens around you, but you know, I mean, screens can use like, well, in immersive analytics, potentially a lot. And anyway, so that's a very interesting thing to explore. The other interesting thing to explore is natural user interaction, which is using direct gestures and eye gaze, NLP as well. It also allows you to create these like 3D immersive dashboards, and I will talk about that a bit more in a few minutes. And it's also a great platform for storytelling because it creates immersion. You can present abstract data, but also more than abstract data. You can present, like, if you're analyzing, for example, geographical data, you can also bring in like some 3D models, Mapbox, and these type of things that you can be really, be immersed and transported where this abstract little dots, what that abstract little dots on the screen actually means, and you can be put into context. And it's also, and I really like this, it's also a great tool for privacy. there are a lot of companies, especially in cybersecurity, who have like, you know, this like shut doors and everything. There are clearly things that you can't show on a public screen. And so some companies find a very interesting application there, which is you put something in the face and you yourself seeing it, not the person right next to you. So most of the time it's kind of an annoying thing, but it's a feature for some people to be able to only see what you see in public space. I've been working in this field for nearly 10 years. Tonight I'm just going to show a couple of tools I've built that sort of kind of resemble some experimental tool that you can find in Tableau. I've been focusing a lot on designing and offering data visualization tools for extended reality, and then I will share all the GitHub links, etc. if you want to play with it. It's all free. Years of research doing that. I'm very interested in the collaboration aspect. It's not only ourselves working with data, we work all together with data, we learn, we share insights. Like, you know, just look at the screen of your colleague, or at a distance, so collaboration is a big thing. That thing is a bit creepy, but that's a massive application. It's a big funded project that I have with the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine. This is more like scientific visualization. I'll be mainly talking about tonight abstract visualization, but we had good media coverage with this. We built the first fully virtual autopsy facility with one of my PhD students down in Melbourne. I can talk about this later, but this is a huge application case where the data, the body of a deceased person, for example, is perishable, but you know, sometimes cannot be used by forensic pathologists. But if we have high quality scans and a good immersive interface usable, then you know, it creates an opportunity. I'm also very interested, and I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later, in tangible interaction. So you're all familiar with like videos of Apple Vision Pro, etc., right? And you see like you can just do these gestures, these clicks. There is a whole world of like tracked objects. You can track mundane objects and make them your controller for the database. I have a few students who develop like the sort of like tracked globes and presented sort of like immersive interfaces for geodata exploration. And I've also worked with Agilent in Melbourne, who are really interested in exploring the potential of especially augmented reality for maintenance. Okay, this is all like kind of like weird and futuristic, sort of like meta Apple stuff. But no, it's like slowly like becoming a thing that, you know, is being communicated about. The few people I work or interact with, mainly through academic conferences at Tableau, are Vidya and Matt Brenner. Maybe you've seen their work before. And recently they posted about how interesting it is to have these like immersive dashboards, right? How you can use your office to display a lot of information, how you can connect with people, how you can leverage the 3D vision you get. Just a quick poll, who's tried VR or AR before? 3, okay, so about 50%. So what you get when you wear these devices, you get these sort of like so-called holographic images around you, and they appear to be 3D if you're not like stereo impaired. But yeah, the key thing is you can interact with these dashboards, connect with people, interact with avatars in a more immersive way. And the key thing is to say, if we have better people, better connected, working on data, well, therefore we get better insight, better communication. Not only on KPIs, but also on the work of data scientists, right? When there's a lot of studies showing that the more people are immersed and actually collaboratively immersed together, the better the outcomes, because there is more fluid communication and there is less ambiguity, for example, you know, tuning hyperparameters on models and these type of things.
So can we just go into presentation mode and PowerPoint?
Oh, I really tried, but it doesn't let me.
It doesn't work?
No. I can try again, but I see the presentation on my slide. Yeah. This is because I can try again.
Is that reverse or something?
The other one down the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think it is. No, because it doesn't allow me to share, because it's sharing one window. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, another great application of immersive analytics is immersive data storytelling. I don't know if you've seen this platform. I think it was presented at the Tableau Connect. And yeah, and that's very interesting because I was working on a very similar project when I sort of saw an update on Matt's website, and I know Matt quite well. I'm like, wait a second, did you make this? And it's like, yeah, I did this. And then obviously, maybe some of you have seen that. I'll play it again. So basically, what Tableau and Matt and his team have been working on is like new ways to present data. So kind of the pitch. Yeah, the pitch is like when we present data on Zoom or this type of stuff, it's kind of boring because you're in that tiny window. But what if the data visualization is actually Canva, and you can directly interact with data live with the webcam feed again to improve, how people engage during data presentations and making sure.
Is that that's better, right?
Yeah.
It's something stupid, but
okay. So now I'm just going to quickly show some work that I've done in that space, especially on authoring data visualizations in virtual reality. So this is kind of one of the first attempts of like trying to think about a metaphor to build data visualization. So with some colleagues, especially Andrew Cunningham from UniSA, we created IMAXs, which is free to download and play with. You can just throw a CSV in there, and the data dimensions or your data measurements are these axes. And the authoring tool just uses natural gestures. So you just grab axes like this, and if you put just things parallel to each other, there is an automatic. We call that a grammar of graphics. The nerds of data viz might be familiar with this thing. So basically, the system passes the geometry of the axis and just displays visualizations accordingly. And yeah, so this is the IMAX's interface. A few things. So this is a wine data set. You might be familiar with it. It's like a benchmark for data science. And so it's like a wine quality data set. So the metaphor is like it has all these like columns like alcohol, chlorides, quality, this type of stuff, sulfurs. And so there is basically a grammar that recognizes the gesture of the user and then shows the visualization accordingly. You can filter your data. The nice thing is you can create your workspace, you can manage your workspace. There's a lot of other features. You can extend to 3D. You can you can create scaffold matrices simply by just piling the visualization. So it's kind of Lego for data.
So you need a VR headset.
No, actually yes, but we've declined it for like all the possible like touch surfaces, AR, VR. I've linked the GitHub. Like you could like run the system could work on the desktop as well, but it really makes sense when you have that like in your own environment. So yeah. You can create parallel coordinate plots, anyway, and so forth and so forth. We also published a paper after this where we actually deployed this in the state of Maryland at their statistics, their Bureau of Statistics in the state of Maryland, and we had something like 120 data scientists in the world, just like coming in with their CSV data set and doing some data analysis with this. And we observed a lot of cool things happening. Well, the first thing is like people really liked that like gallery creation. They were able to collaborate to present their work. They really like the fact that they can sort of like create a history of their visualization, and it's spatialized, so it's kind of like data from your memory, and therefore, yeah, so you can create like crazy visualization with the system because it has this generative grammar. Anyway, more fun. We're like, it's not enough. We need to make it in augmented reality. So we created these tracked controllers And this was kind of a project to teach data visualization and analytics to people. So this is people using the HoloLens 2, and then we created those physicalized axes. This is the same basically engine that is recognizing the data, but you can sort of build your visualizations with this. That was really fun. So
Maxime, on that one, did you say those axes they're playing with are physical?
yeah, absolutely. So it's the same system,
yeah.
But as you may recognize it, we built these boxes that are basically data selectors, and they're tracked. So people can sort of like lay them out and just like create visualization and share their insights.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and we ran studies on that and found people were communicating with this type of interface. They communicate much more about certain aspects of the data, and it's just another way basically of creating these, sharing insights and these type of things. If you want to play with it, I'll share my slides, but you can get it on GitHub if you have a VR headset. Do you have a few more minutes? Or,
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially with that kind of stuff.
So a couple of years later, I was like, okay, Analytics is great, but we need a more generic platform to create data visualization. So I created an immersive analytics toolkit with some colleagues. But I really led that project, and I sort of like stripped down IMAXs, and I just kept the core library, the core rendering library, and I redefined a Unity-based. Are you familiar with Unity? Have you ever heard? Yeah, Unity is basically this 3D platform, and I created a plugin that allows you to create immersive 3D data visualization or 2D or whatever you want that you can deploy on any type of devices. The nice thing it works with like real world data sets. You can throw like 1 million data points. It required like some shader coding and this type of things. It's very reactive. It has like a very reflective grammar of graphics again. You can basically define all the geometry, all the type of stuff that you want to do with it. Moving forward, it's actually a widely used project. This is Bentley, my former student, is at KPMG now, and JP Morgan Chase. No, maybe it's with JP Morgan Chase now. And they're massively using this type of interfaces to build new immersive analytics platforms. And so this is a few projects that we've built with IATK. This one is really kind of another layer of like directly manipulating data. So this is when you have overplotting and you want to see the density of the data, right? When you see like a crowded data set, rather than just like fiddling with the transparency, you can just go and pull on the visualization. When you do this, you see what the density of overplotting is, for example. So this work, and this is also published, and we made it fully available. Really, this work, sort of like iterative work on IATK, was like really trying to bring natural, intuitive gestures to explore the data. So here is another thing where you sort of like flatten a visualization from a 3D and you just like flatten it on a wall. I'll just export the slides. I'll just like go over the boring stuff here. Oops. Why am I not able to move forward? Okay. Couple of other things you can do. Yeah, great. Okay, so extrusion from 2D to 3D, so that's what you've seen. And then the other one that I wanted to show quickly. I can't. Okay, this is like computing the shortest path between two nodes of a graph. So rather than selecting two nodes and just, hey, Dishra, tell me what's the shortest path, here you just pull the two nodes and it just computes the shortest path. Here we have extrusion of 2D to 3D data, for example. Here we sort of like do a multi-dimensional exploration. So you sort of like unpile the sketchplot matrix. Anyway, this is kind of a crazy visualization. We can explain that. I can talk about it a bit later. Anyway, the point of this follow-up work was to create sort of like more intuitive, sort of like really at the fingertip type of interactions that we want to have with our data, right? Another project that was built with that toolkit was this is before the MetaQuest arrived, so we have like these VR backpacks, but now it looks now you look a bit less like, you know, because most of the so yeah, we deployed, like, and again this project works on the MetaQuest and it's fully available online as well. So you've got this like immersive dashboard where you can connect from anywhere, anytime, do this like asynchronous or synchronous collaborative analysis. You can share the space. Have your mini immersive Tableau, for example.
So do you reckon, Maxime, in the near future, we'll have people in a boardroom, like a CEO or a board member, checking the stats and reports on the boardroom, just dragging, dropping, pulling? How far are we from?
Yeah. Well.
5 years, 10 years? More?
So the I think we're already there in terms of software, in terms of defining the paradigms, the studies. Like on the research side, we've been doing that for like 10 years. Now there is a bottleneck, which is the technology, and so I'm an enthusiast. Yeah, I'm a massive enthusiast. When I tried the Apple Vision Pro, I was like stunned, but it's still a bit bulky.
Is that the one that's $3,000 that they stopped it for?
Yeah, and I think it's $5,500 Australian dollars. Yeah, which is even more expensive.
That's the best one out there, but they canned it.
Yeah, they've canned it because I think there's like cost of productions and type of thing. But Meta have just announced Orion, which are like super light, lightweight AR glasses that really have the form factor of like very thick pair of Ray-Bans. But you have like platforms like the Unreal glasses as well that are very close to that thing. So it's an adoption. Like there is the bottleneck of adoption. You know, in 2010, Google Glasses did a very quick appearance, and then I think people got mad at the fact that you could like take pictures and record everyone all the time. Fast forward 15 years later, we're all recording ourselves all the time. We're not like throwing stones at each other. So it's just like it comes and goes. Like that use case of like this reporting room, because the paradigm is this, right? I'm talking, there is the visualization here, the stuff is there. But now if we're all empowered to somewhat, you know, select stuff in a presentation, you can go and annotate something you haven't understood yet and do this type of stuff. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to cut it short because I might, I'm going to talk about it forever. That's another integration with machine learning where we design a fully interactive interface to do point segmentation. The very last stuff I wanted to show super quickly is, when I was showing Matt's immersive presenter just before, I was like, I'm also working on something like this with a bunch of my green students, and we were actually working on an open source toolkit that we call Hans Streamer. Maybe you get the reference in the Hans. Yeah. So obviously the Heinz Roslinger was already taken. Yeah. Hans Rosling, because we wanted to make this available, this way of presenting data. So we did it, and we open sourced it. And the inspiration was really during lockdowns. You see a lot of data reports, but what you see a lot is people interacting with, nowadays on reports, they interact with reports, and they sort of like, they turn their back to the camera, and then they interact with the visualization on a TV or something like that. If you have the camera in front of you, you can do this, obviously, and I might just try to do a quick demo, but I can show it. I can definitely show it.
The guy from UBC is very good at it.
Casey Briggs, he's really, really good, absolutely. I'm gonna try and see if it works like demo. I'm sure it has some interesting issues with it. Okay, great. I'll try to share again. Share screen. No, yay. Okay. So you can absolutely play with it online. It works, no worries. So this is like it's built with D3 and MediaPipe, and so this is like a very famous.
Can you agree to demonstrate Tableau extensions?
Yeah. Hello everyone, once again. My name is Ksenia. Today I'm going to demonstrate for you the Tableau table extension, which was released in Tableau version 2024.3, but the great news that is compatible with previous version 2024.2. So let's start. Let's have a look first what you can do with this extension. I created this table using this extension. Actually, this is open data about Australian International Airlines. So what you can do, you can create some global search field and search information from the whole table. You can export your table to Excel file, and all formatting will be preserved in this file. You can have some filters. For example, for numeric variables, you can have some sliders like this. And for some categorical variables, you can use the filters like this. So for example, you can find Brisbane, and see some information in what direction Brisbane people traveled this year. So it's actually New Zealand, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia. So I think that's all. And let's try to do it together now. So to start to use this table extension, you should find your marks area here and find the area with this extension. Press the button Add Extension. Here you can tick Build by Tableau and Salesforce, and you can find Tableau table here. So if you're for the first time using this, you need to download it. Now I'm opening it. After that, you should allow to run this extension in your computer. And I would like to highlight that this is network-enabled extension, and it interacts with external services every time. And sometimes it works a bit slower, but sometimes it's like, okay, I don't know, maybe the service is working like differently, but now it's pretty fast. So let's create some table. For this, you should drag dimensions and measures to detail area. So I put this. Choose this one, like this. And my table is ready. Can sort some values here. So you can use this toolbar. We should wait a bit. So here we can see the main settings for our table. Like you can show toolbar or hide it, like this. You can show column filters, like this. You can include null values or hide them. You can show search field or hide it. You can show tooltips, and you can show Excel download button. So that's ready. Also, you can change the name of your column right here, like this. And like type anything. So when I choose this, just a moment. So like I have chosen some column, and after that I can format it. What can I do? So here you can see some formatting options for our column. Now we can see default formatting. We can use data bars. We can show the marked text here. We can choose any color, what you like, and change anything. So also we can use color scale instead of bars. And again, we can change some palette here. As well, we can add some conditional formatting. Here, available some rules, some conditions. For example, I can make some rule. If the value in this column greater than some specific value, for example, in millions, I can highlight it with, for example, yellow color, like this. I can add other rules if I need. So, for example, if it's less than something, I can highlight it with different colors. For example, like this.
So is it always a value, or can you do it dynamically? I think it looks like always a value. You can't connect it to a field or to a calculation, right?
Actually, I think it's now just
Sorry,
you can type it
exactly.
here. So I think that's all. Also, you can change like fonts, the size, something like that stuff. Yeah, I think that's all. So this is Tableau table extension. I would be glad to stay connected.
Can you just put it back if that's all right?
Yes.
We can just check
Because you're
the other things. Yeah, I just found that so that highlight is really great. So visual formatting, just like Excel, but it doesn't. What I wanted it to do was to change the color of the bars, but it doesn't do that. So it's just like a highlight. So it works really nicely in the color scale. Also, the formatting, you'll see like .00, 2 decimal places. No ability to change the number format, I think, at this stage. Again, this is probably more like an MVP.
Can you do it in default?
Yeah, in
format?
default.
Will that
Again,
change?
yeah, but not in
Okay,
here.
not in the
So,
image.
yeah, it's one of those things that I think this is MVP, and then you'll probably talk about it doesn't work with subscriptions. When you publish it up, you do a subscription, and this is in the part of the dashboard. It's not going to come out in subscriptions yet. So.
It doesn't render. So if you're in a cloud and you got the extension enabled, it needs to be enabled by running. But if you users go dashboard, save as PDF or save as image, it doesn't render, so it will be blank. It will be a fast loading dashboard because there's nothing on it. But keep that in mind. All those extensions don't render. There's some technical rubbish I don't understand, but all the shaky as well on their site doesn't render.
Is it just
There's
a
a web
web
object
object
to
to pay more for it?
No, it's a technical
technical
limitation. The Seki shard doesn't render, so it's good, but if your users rely on getting a PDF from Monday morning by the solution, it won't work. As planned, so we got caught a couple of times, not with this one, but with a smaller one. So for work, we're waiting on that thing to be fixed before we use it, because it's really, really good.
I think it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yes,
Yeah. I'm taking it to the end of last week.
Should.
Yeah.
But hey,
I mean, I think
good to have that.
it doesn't do table calculations, nor does it do subtotally like you would expect in the original
Like in
table.
Excel.
Or how we would normally do in the table here. So just things to think about. Think of it more of as a MVP. I would hope that with every new version, they will come out with something new for this. I would hope, because I think it's really got a lot of traction and a lot of focus.
And the filter also you can either enable or disable. There's no way of like doing it for some.
Did I spot a private version of it, a non-Tableau version, the table extension?
No,
There's
that's
something called super tables,
yeah,
but
it's
it's not.
different.
It's not the Tableau table.
this one is the only type of one.
I worked with Super Table. It was really hard to work with. And it tends to be set a lot.
I've noticed this one.
This seems to be cleaner.
When you connect to a very large data set, so we have a release, there's a lag when the thing loads on your pretending you don't bother with the PDF stuff. It takes 4 or 5 seconds to load, as opposed to another box normal table we do with means or whatever in the columns. So there's a bit of a lag because you must be connecting to some external service outside. That's it.
So it's got to communicate, get it in.
At PDF, so yeah.
Which is also not a big deal outside.
Yeah, but those
The
ones are
sandbox.
Tableau, the sandbox, so they say.
We would be allowed to have it in sandbox.
Yeah. So it's only just one of the same keys that are sandbox.
Is anyone in the cloud for work? You guys are on the cloud or like the Tableau cloud?
Yeah.
You are? Because it just needs to be enabled by your admin, unless you're a Tableau admin, but so it doesn't work out of the box. You need to ask the IT team to, there's a box kind of thing.
So on Tableau server.
On the Tableau server, yeah. There's a URL for the extension that you need to enable, and it just render. But the export stuff doesn't work, as long as you're mindful of that. Yes.